And it is a Finance Monday. Finance Monday. Very excited. Rudolph Mahoney is here. You love your car, but are you looking after it in your finances? Today we'll be telling car owners what they need to know about caring for their cars and their budgets. Rudolph Mahoney from WesBank is back on the WesBank How To Show, and to ensure you have many, many happy miles. Sadly, this is our last show, but we want you to carry on posting your car finance questions on the WesBank Asset Finance Facebook page, or you can tag at WesBank on Twitter with the hashtag WesBank How To. Remember that Rudolph and the team are ready and waiting to answer your car finance questions. Rudolph, welcome to Metro FM.
Hi, thank you for having me back again.
All right, let's get straight into it. Now, what kind of things can I do to look after my car? I'm sure it's a bit more than, taking it for a weekly wash and dry and maintenance every now and then.
Yeah, a weekly or a regular wash and a wax is always good for your car, but you need to keep your car in tip-top shape, and you need to look after the maintenance of the car. That's very important. So normally a car comes with a warranty or a service plan or so, and it's your responsibility to make sure that you take the car for those services or those maintenance issues if and when it occurs. So normally a car needs to be serviced every 15,000 kilometers, and it's important to take it at that point in time. Because if you skip a service, you might lose your warranty, you might lose your maintenance plan. And of course, a well-maintained car with a warranty or a service plan, when you want to trade it in, will get a better price from the dealership than when it's expired or when you've missed a service. So servicing your car and maintaining it is of utmost importance.
Now, let's get into that now, Rudolph. What are these value-added products and how can they help me, care for my car? Are we talking about, bucket and sponge? Can I just add sort of like sunroof and sound system to give my car more value?
Yeah, like a sunroof is always a cool thing to have in a car, but it doesn't really add much value to the car, to the loan. So when we look at these value-added products, you can classify them in three categories. There's products that look after the car itself. There's products that look after the individual, and then there's products that look after the loan agreement. Okay, so for example, you've got a gap cover. So if the car was in an accident and there's a shortfall from the insurance company, this then covers that gap that is left behind. Car protection, there are things like chip and dent protection. So if you take the car, you park at a shopping center and someone nicks the car with a trolley, you don't really want to go to the insurance company and put a formal claim for that. But these policies are for those little small things. So there's companies that come out to you to fix the little small dents and scratches. And then there's protection for the individual. For example, there's a life cover, there's retrenchment cover, a disability cover. So you need to consider this whole range of the value-added products for you, for the car, and then for the loan.
Yeah, okay, let's talk about gap cover. I actually got a post on Facebook. It was submitted by Mponyana, and she says, my car was written off and they told me it's uneconomical to fix. The car's worth 80,000 Rand and the insurance only paid 64,000 Rand, resulting in a shortfall.
Okay, so I guess the money that's owed to the bank is 80,000. So obviously then there's a shortfall of 16,000 Rand, and that becomes the client's responsibility to the bank to then pay that. So this gap cover is exactly that. So you can lodge a claim with the policy, and then they will settle the outstanding balance that remains that you are owing to the bank. Also, sometimes an insurance company might repudiate a claim. So, for example, the car was not roadworthy. You didn't change the tires in time when the tires was worn, and then you were in an accident. So the insurance company will look at that and say, you had a responsibility to change the tires. They were not roadworthy, and we're not going to pay this claim. Then you can lodge a claim with this gap cover, and then they will settle the outstanding balance to the bank. So there's a lot of value that you have in these things, and sometimes missing out on replacing your tires, it's a small thing, and you might think, okay, next week is payday, I'll change it then, and then in the meantime you have an accident and you find yourself in this situation. So I guess the most important thing is to have a very good conversation with the finance people at the dealership, because they will give you the right advice and assess you as an individual to understand what your risks are, and they will recommend the right products for you.
All right. And then on Twitter, Rudolph, Bani Macholo has a question about whether he should cancel his value-added products. He says, I'm left with 2 years to finish paying off my vehicle. Can I cancel credit life and gap insurance to reduce my installments? Great question.
Yeah. Normally we wouldn't recommend that because these products, they are there to cover certain risks to you. Okay. So I wouldn't recommend that you cancel any of these policies unless the risk has changed. So whilst you still have the car, and there might be, a chance of being retrenched. We know that the economy is not doing as well nowadays, so that's even more important to have that kind of cover. So once again, I would recommend that you go to your finance consultant who sold you the car and have this discussion with them and say, can we look at this deal again? What can we cancel? And I guess you'd consider that for when money is getting tight. So instead of missing out the payment of the car, then of course go to the finance person who sold you the car and then get the right advice on which policies you can cancel and which policies you should continue paying.
And Rudolph, with that said, what about the money that I paid as a deposit when I bought the car? Is there a value-added product that helps me to protect my deposit?
Bonang, that's a brilliant question. There are actually policies that cover that.
Oh,
so we
good.
we have a deposit protector, and that refunds your full deposit if the car is stolen or written off. So you can actually get that money back.
Okay, that is fantastic. All right, Rudolph. Well, I'm so sad that this is our very, very last one. And you've given us great advice on keeping our cars in good condition, to products that can help keep our budgets in great condition. All the WesBank how-to shows have certainly been informative. And thank you very much for being here every Monday and, helping us learn a little more.
Yeah, thanks, Bonang. It's been a wonderful opportunity and experience for me as well. And I'd like to thank all of the listeners out there who's been posting questions and very good questions to our social pages. I think I've also learned a lot about the needs of our listeners out there, and we'll certainly work hard towards improving the knowledge that we have for our customers.
Absolutely. I know this may be the last show, but that doesn't mean you can't continue chatting to Rudolph and the team via your favorite social networks, like he said. If you have any more questions, please use the WesBank how-to hashtag on Twitter or use at WesBank. Alternatively, go to the WesBank Asset Finance page on Facebook for super fast responses to your queries. If we haven't covered your question yet, then post it right now.